Hello friends, in this video we are going to study Boolean laws. Let us begin. So, very first Boolean law that we are going to see is OR law. As an employee, definitely you can refer to actually OR gate. So you can consider some OR gate having two inputs, let's say A and B, and output is Y, and Y is equal to what? It is A plus B. Even though we write plus sign, it is not actually plus or normal addition operator. This is what we called as an OR operator. So this is something called as an OR operator. Since the inputs are A and B, possibly you can apply any input on A and B. For example, I'm applying on A as A, but on B I'm applying 0. So for example, A plus 0. So obviously A plus 0, when you add anything or when you OR anything with 0, obviously you get the same result. So you get A, isn't it? Next, let's say if you are adding A or you are ORing A with logic 1, obviously the answer is logic 1, because see, the possibility of A can be 0 or can be 1. So let us say if A is 0, then 0 plus 1 or 0 ORed with 1 is obviously 1, or A can be 1 as I said, and 1 plus 1 is also 1, because that's the rule of OR gate, that if any of the input goes to logic 1, output is logic 1. If both the inputs happens to be logic 1, still output is logic 1 only. Next, if you apply A plus A, it results into A only. For example, if let's say A is 0, then I would say it is 0 plus 0, which is 0, which is A itself. Or you can say, let's say A is 1, so you just OR 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is again 1 in case of OR gate, which is again A itself. Meaning that A plus A is always A. Next, A plus A bar. So when you complement any variable with its complemented variable, when you add any variable with its complemented variable, the addition becomes 1 or operation becomes 1. That is, for example, let us assume A equal to 0. Then you are going to add with A bar. Obviously, if A is 0, A bar happens to be 1, and 0 plus 1 becomes 1. As you can see, the result is 1. Next case that you can confirm with, let us assume A equal to 1. Then you are going to OR with A bar. So if A is equal to 1, A bar will be 0, 1 plus 0 will be again 1. So as you can see, irrespective what is the value of A plus A bar is always 1. I hope you understood these cases, okay? So let me just rub this. Now let me tell you something about a duality. What is meant by a duality? Let us understand the concept of duality. Duality means, for example, if a particular relation or if particular equation is true, then we can say that a dual of that equation is also true. I repeat, if the particular relation or a particular equation is true, then its dual is also true. But then how do we take dual? It is very simple. We take dual in two steps. Step number 1, we replace product with sum and sum with product. Therefore, as you can see, the arrow is bidirectional. In step number 2, what we do, we replace 1 with 0. Please understand, we replace 1 with 0 and 0 with 1. We replace product with plus and plus with product, that is nothing but product with sum and sum with product. Please understand, we never ever replace A with A bar or A bar with A. Please understand that, because I really find student really does this mistake while applying a duality. So please understand the concept of duality. The concept of duality means if a particular relation is true, its dual is also true. But whenever you take a dual, you have to replace product with sum with product, replace 1 with 0, replace 0 with 1. I hope you understand that. So in this case, Since a plus 0 equal to a is a true relation, then I can say that its dual is also true. So what is a dual of a? Okay, then most of the student, when I ask a dual of a, they say it is a bar. Wrong, I never said that. So you have to keep the variables as it is in the same form. Yes, obviously sum has to be replaced with dot or product. 0 has to be replaced with what? Come on, 1. So a dot 1 is equal to what? A. Obviously when you actually take a product of any variable with 1, you get the same, isn't it? Next, now I'm talking about the second relation. In second relation it says a plus 1 equal to 1. Then since this relation is true every time for all values of a, and let me tell you, your value of a can be 0 or 1. So a plus 1 is equal to 1, then I can say that a sum has to be considered as product. 1 has to be replaced with 0 equal to, again we have 1 here, we replace with 0. Again, it's a common sense. When you product 0 with any variable, whenever you take a product of any variable with 0, obviously you're bound to get 0 only. Let us go for third equation. Third equation says a plus a equal to a. Then I can say that its dual is also true. That is a dot a equal to a. The last relation, which is a fourth relation, a plus a bar equal to 1. Then I can say that a dot a bar equal to what? 0, because sum is replaced with product and 1 is replaced with 0. I hope you understand that. And let me tell you, the resultant law is called as AND law. Why? Because the job of OR gate is to give you sum and the job of AND gate is to give you product. As you can see in these four derived equations, as you can see, there is a product. And who gives the product? Obviously AND gives the product, and that's the reason why whatever laws now we have derived, they are called as AND law. So let me just rub this so I can just organize it properly. So the second law that is derived from OR law is known as AND law. I hope you understood that. Okay. Now we are moving to a third category, that is a commutative law. So what is meant by commutative law? Very simple. Look at this. A plus B is equal to B plus A. Very simple. Very simple. So you OR A with B or B with A, you get the same result, isn't it? So if this equation is true, let me tell you, my friends, then its dual is also true. I'm sure you remember what is meant by a dual. So keep A as it is, replace sum with product, keep B as it is equal to B dot A. So this has come from the dual relation. So A dot B is equal to B dot A. Even if you AND A with B or B with A, it is one and the same thing. I hope you understand that. The next category that we are going to see, that is a fourth category called as associative law. So what is associative law? Let's see that. For that I need three variables. Let's say A, B and C. Assume that I'm going to sum them together. Now in this, what I do is I first of all make a summation of B and C first, and then whatever result comes, I'm going to sum it with A. I hope you understand the meaning of bracket in mathematics, okay? Or in the algebra. In the algebra, whenever there is a bracket, the relation, or we would say the operation which is inside the bracket, is done on a priority. So here B and C are taken, or I would say summed first, okay? That is, OR operation is done between B and C first. That is the first step, and in the second step it is OR with A. Similarly, what I can do, that I can actually change the sequence, and that's what the associative law is. What I can do is I can actually take A plus B in the bracket and then I can OR with C. So ultimately we are actually ORing A with B and then with C. But what we are actually doing, this ORing sequence is somehow changed. In first case, what we did is we ORed B and C first, and then whatever result came, that is ORed with A. Here it is equivalent to ORing A plus B first, that is ORing A and B first, and then whatever result has come, it is ORed with C. I hope you understand that. So if this relation, if this equation is true, I can actually say that its dual is also true. So here there is only one scope, that is you can actually replace sum with product. So I can say that A dot B dot C, where you have performed B dot C first, and then whatever result came, you have ended with A. This is as good as equivalent to A dot B performing first, and then whatever result came, it is taken product with C. It is one and the same thing. So this is what we called as associative law. So far the laws are very simple. Okay, let's move to the next law, that is associative law. Moving to the fifth category, that is distributive law. So the fifth category is distributive law. Very simple guys, very simple. Just check it out. Suppose it is A dot B plus C, then this can be expanded as A dot B plus A dot C. That's what we actually do while performing the product in normal mathematics or normal algebra. What we do, I have done the same. It's nothing great, but this is what we call as a distributive law. And if it is so, if this is true guys, then its dual is also true. So let us try to take a dual of this. So what I'm going to do, this is a product, so I'm going to convert it into sum. So this will become A plus this B plus C. So it was a sum, I'm going to convert it into product, and now this is equivalent to, check it out, first we have a product, that is A dot B, now it becomes a sum, then there is a sum, it becomes a product. So the moment I have a product, I'll take a bracket, and in the another bracket we had actually A dot C, now it has become a sum, A plus C. It's very important result. We are going to use this in many problems. Most of the people even doesn't know this is what we call as a distributive law. Please try to remember A plus BC can be expanded as A plus B into A plus C. In fact, you can actually solve this. Okay, how to solve this? Very simple. You can actually take a product of A with A plus C first. Again, it's a normal mathematics, it's not that rocket science. Okay, so what I can do is I can take A product with A plus C, and later on I can take product of B with A plus C. Just open up all the brackets, so it becomes A dot A plus AC plus A dot B. Again, actually it is B dot A, but again by commutative law I can write A dot B plus B dot C. So far so clear, right? Obviously you know that A dot A is always A, so I can write A plus AC plus AB plus BC. What I can do is I can take this A common throughout. Can you see that? What remains inside? It is 1 plus C plus B in the bracket, then plus the last term, which is B dot C. So you know 1 plus A is what? It is 1. This is from OR law. Or you can understand 1 plus anything is always 1. 1 plus anything is always 1. It means if I, let's say, consider this as x, so what is 1 plus x? Come on, it is 1 only. So can't I write this is actually A, then 1, I mean product with 1 plus BC, and you know that A dot 1 is A itself, so I can write it equal to A plus BC, which is nothing but a left hand side. I hope you understand that. So what I actually have taken over here, the right hand side, and I have actually confirmed it is equal to left hand side. So even a distributive law is proved, right? Very simple guys, it is very simple. Then let's move to the next category, that is very much well known, called as a De Morgan's theorem. So what is De Morgan's theorem? Very simple. If you have A plus B whole bar, then this is equivalent to A bar dot B bar. Okay, please remember that if you actually take a sum of two variables and complement it, that is what is meant by A plus B whole bar, this is equivalent to product of individually complemented variables. I repeat, sum of two variables and then complementing is also equivalent to product of two individually complemented variables. That is nothing but A plus B whole bar is equal to A bar dot B bar. So let me tell you, if this relation is true, then I can say that its dual is also true, and therefore it results into A dot B whole bar, which is equal to A bar plus B bar. In fact, this is called as De Morgan's theorem 1 and De Morgan's theorem 2. But in a way, it is considered as a De Morgan's theorem only. I hope you understand that. Then we are moving to the next category, that is a seventh category that we are going to see is other laws. So what are these other laws? So they are like this: A plus A bar B is equal to A plus B. A plus A bar B is equal to A plus B. Then we have another law as A bar plus AB is equal to A bar plus B. Then we have A plus A bar B bar is A plus B bar. And then we have A bar plus A B bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. How to remember these laws? These laws are very important. These laws are very important. But then to move ahead, I can say that actually its dual is also true in that case. So let me just take their duals. Okay. How do we take a dual of this? Very simple. So this is the first relation I'm talking about. A remains A. Sum becomes dot. What we have in the bracket is A bar plus B, which is equal to. Now this A plus B becomes what? A dot B. Just I'm solving it for your sake, okay? Just check. If I open up this bracket, it becomes A dot A bar plus AB. What is A dot A bar? It is always 0. So it is as good as it is 0 plus AB, and obviously 0 plus AB comes out to be AB. So I'm sure now you understood that. Similarly, writing dual for the second, A bar plus AB. So I can write A bar dot A plus B, which is equal to A bar dot B. Third relation, now I can write A bar plus A bar B bar. I can write as A dot A bar plus B bar, which is equal to A dot B bar. The fourth relation, which is written as A bar plus AB bar. So I can write this as A bar as it is. Again, the sum becomes a product. Then in the bracket, we have A plus B bar, and this is equal to A bar dot B bar. So I'm sure now you have understood how to take a dual, but let us understand a trick by which you can remember all these other laws. How to remember this? I'll give you a very simple trick. Just look at this very carefully. Suppose you have this A variable. To apply other law, if the first variable is A, second variable has to be complement, that is A bar. That is the first rule to apply other laws. And then there is some remaining variable, let's say it is equal to B. In that case, what you need to do, that you first of all take the first variable as it is. So I'm writing as it is. Then write plus. Then since you have covered A, ignore this. What is remaining? B. Write that B. That's it. This is about the first law. Let us look at the second relation, which says A bar plus. Now look at this once again. The first variable is A bar. The second variable has to be A. That is complement of each other. And then some other variable, let's say B. This is equivalent to what I said. Take the first variable as it is. Take the first variable as it is out. Make plus. Since A is covered, do not consider this. What is remaining? B. Write B. That's it. That's it. So this was the second relation. Look at the third relation, guys. It is A. If it is A, obviously there has to be A bar. Then we have next B bar. Then what we do? We copy the first variable as it is, which is A, plus we do not repeat the variable. So ignore A bar. What is remaining? B bar. Just check it out. That is the third one. And in the last also, as you can see, if there is A bar, there is A and the remaining variable B bar. So what we have taken A bar as it is, that is nothing but the first variable as it is, and then we ignore this A. What is remaining? B bar. We have written plus B bar. I hope you understood that even trick behind how to remember the other laws. I'm sure you are finding this simple. Let's move ahead with the eighth category. So the eighth category is transposition law. It is a transposition law. So what is transposition law. Let's look at this. If it is AB plus A bar, now look at this. If the first variable is A, the next variable over here in the second term, that should be complement of it, that is A bar. Then only this law is applicable, let me tell you. And there is some other variable, let's say C. Now how to remember transposition law? Just look at this. Take A with the another variable C and connect A bar with B. So the result is like this. It becomes A plus C dot A bar plus B. Let us take some other relation. Let's say it is x bar y plus xz. For example, if it is like this, and if I want to apply a transposition law, I have to make sure that if this is x bar, this has to be x. Then I can have a cross connection. I can connect x bar with z and I can connect x with y, and I can write it in terms of what? POS form, that is product of sum form. So I can actually write this as what? X bar plus z dot x plus y. If you actually expand this, you will get again x bar y plus xz only. I hope you understand. This is what we called as a transposition law. Okay. The next law that we are going to look after, that is nothing but the ninth law. It is called as consensus law. So what is meant by a consensus law? Very simple. Look at this. If it is, let's say, AB, then let us assume if this is A, there has to be A bar here. Then we have C plus BC. Then this is equivalent to AB plus A bar C. So when you actually see this law very first time, it really creates a difficulty in front of a reader. I mean what has really happened? I mean, they don't even get a clue what has happened. I'll tell you what has happened over here. As you can see, by observing only, I'm telling you, AB plus A bar C plus BC was there. It is literally ignored, and what is remaining, as you can see, it is just a copy of first term and this is a second term. As you can see, the third term is literally ignored. How to remember when to ignore the third term? Look at this. Because the job of Boolean algebra or the job of Boolean laws is to reduce the relation. Means what? To reduce the complexity in the relation. If the complexity is reduced, then it is going to reduce the hardware, it is going to reduce the cost, it is going to reduce the power consumption. So in a way, our job is to reduce the relation. Okay, let us see. So I'll tell you a trick how to remember this. If it is AB, let's say A bar C, then once again, if this is A, there has to be A bar. I hope you remember that. So my question is, A and A bar are covered. What is remaining? So I would say remaining is B. Remaining is B. And again, what is remaining? C. So can't you see that the third term which is made is because of the remaining term? In that case, you can literally ignore the third term and you can write it as AB plus A bar C. I hope you understood when to ignore the third part. As you can also see over here, if I just take this transposition law and if I take this right hand side, just try to expand this. Okay, so how do we expand this? It is A dot A bar plus AB plus, now you are going to take a product with C, so it becomes A bar C plus BC. Obviously A into A bar is always 0, so what is remaining? Check it out. It is AB plus A bar C plus BC. Can't you see here, if this is A, this is A bar, the third term which is BC is made up of this B and C. I can actually apply a consensus law over here and I can actually ignore the third term, and what I can write over here is AB plus A bar C. I can write AB plus A bar C, which you can literally see to be present in left hand side. So have you seen that with the help of consensus law, I have also proved a transposition law is working. I hope things are clear. So this is how you should actually learn these laws. You should remember these laws. It is very, very important. If you don't understand in one attempt, try to watch this video again, see it again, make your own notes, try to remember with the tricks that I have given you, and then you can solve the problems based on the same. Thank you.